Welcome back again to All Art Studio. Today we're going to make a vase from a plastic bottle. We will use a normal cool drink 2-liter plastic bottle, cut it up and see what we can get. So here is all the tools that I've used. My plastic bottle, water, Plaster of Paris, a bucket, some material, and the normal things that you will need. So here I cleaned up my bottle. I cut it the way that I want the size to fit that I had in mind. It was a trial and error, so I wasn't actually sure how big it will come out, but at least it worked. You will see the sun was very harsh there. I just finished off there, just making it smooth, because that part is coming right inside the other part. I use the cap and mark it with my pen, a Koki pen. That's just to give me a little bit of a guideline to make some scallops in it on the top. That will be actually my top part of my vase. So that cap is just to give us a little bit of a rounding so that I can know where to cut. And eventually my pen did not want to work, and I was so frustrated because the sun was very harsh at that time, and it was so hot. So that was not the best decision to do that at that stage, because later on the video you will see that I did struggle a lot also with my plaster of Paris that was curing too quickly. So that was actually a very bad decision, but I worked at the time that I've got and start in different times of the day. So I think it's with trial and error. That day was specifically very hot, and I think that maybe had a big influence on the drying time of the plaster of Paris. But there I was just cutting all my scallops out. It was actually a very fun project, and usually you don't use the plaster of Paris, but I wanted to see if I get maybe a different kind of smoothness. If you mold it, usually it looks very nice, but I did struggle with it, to be honest. It did not work that well for me. So the thing, I don't think I will just work with plaster of Paris. There I cut the top off. So if you put it in the other bottle, then there's an opening at the bottom. That will be the inside, so that you can put something in it at the end of the day. Otherwise it's closed up at the bottom, and I want to put some flowers in, so that's why I cut the bottom off. Actually, now that was the top part, so I cut it off. There I glued it already. It's a normal glue gun. That's my plaster of Paris, and I mix it with plain clear water. I wanted a very soft consistency so that I can put my material in it. So that's why it's so very soft liquid form, and not a little bit more hard. And you will see that it actually didn't even work. The first part did, but the sun dried it out so quickly. I think it was a few maybe minutes, and then it was hard in that bucket. So it was actually very difficult to work under that circumstances. That is just normal material. You can use any cloth. Usually if it's a bigger project that you make, you use a towel. That works better. But I wanted to see if that will also work. It's very soft, that material. didn't work that bad. And if I work with the material, and it doesn't matter if it's cement that I use, normal cement, or the Plaster of Paris, I do work with my hands just like that, because I don't mind. I like to work with the products, and you can feel what you do. It's a bit messy, but it's fun. I cover up all of the bottle. And it is at this part that the material was sucking up all the water out of my Plaster of Paris. I think that is where the whole thing came in. Make it nice and smooth as possible, because we're going to fill it up anyway, again. I make that little bump in the, what do you call it? Make that little place there, you know, that I can put a little string on, or maybe a ribbon or something at the end. That was the plan, because I did not know where I was going with this. I need a smaller piece for the top part of the scallops. I obviously did not want a very, very smooth finish at the end of the day, but not too rough. And I think you must take a little bit of time. Don't rush it. Make sure that you've got it everywhere that you want it, and put it up to the point that you want. Fill up any parts that you need. You can actually, you see I push it there, so you can actually manipulate the material in any shape, and maybe a little bit of folds or something, just how you want it. Now I fill it up with the rest of the Plaster of Paris that's still there, but it's very soft, so, and very soft liquid, and it makes it difficult to stick, but it helps a lot to get your foundation for the next little bit more hard Plaster of Paris, a little bit more solid, I should say. But it was fun to do that. I will do definitely a lot of things different the next time I'm trying that specific one. Okay, now there's the new batch that's supposed to be a little bit more solid and not so like a water liquid. That is to do the top coat. And that is at that stage that I realized is actually too hot, because it was getting hard very, very, very quickly. And I try to work fast. You see, with the paintbrush even, because you can use the paintbrush, or your normal credit card will do the thing, and you just stick it on. At this stage, that's when you can start shaping your vase or anything that you actually making. I think you saw with the previous part. This is a third batch. It was really a bit difficult to put it on. Not when it is just mixed and still soft, but you can see after 2-3 scoops it's already hard. So that was actually very difficult because it was so hot at that specific day that I've chosen to do this project. But time is not always on our side, so I do stuff like this when I do have the chance to do that. You can make it as big as you want at the bottom and make it with a curve or anything like a bubble or just anything that you like. Because you do have the solid inside of the bottle, but you won't see it. And you can shape it at the sides the way that you want it. I wanted to try this Plaster of Paris because I thought it will work best, but I think because of it's setting so fast, I don't think it's the best to do. I make it as smooth as possible because if it's completely dry, then it's not that big of a deal to sand it down to make it a little bit more soft and smooth on the sides before you paint it. Now I do the top part. Once again, you can make that very heavy and bulky at the top to give you that curve to put around a little string or bow or anything, just to make it nice. Obviously you can go as big as you want with these pots if you make them. You can use them anywhere. I did not make holes at the bottom, so I cannot plant something in it, but I can put some flowers in, or I can use it like a vase, or I can use a smaller pot that's already planted and then put that inside just for a nice pot. I use the sand, it's not a very coarse sandpaper, but not very fine as well, because otherwise you don't get off anything. So I thought I wanted to use the water with the sandpaper, but that didn't work well. It clogged up very quickly. So I used the dry sandpaper as it is, and that worked better. Just to smooth it out. Obviously, I think this was the next day, so it was quite dry. It's not that there was any chance of it breaking off, or maybe I'm too quick with this, and then if I press very hard, you can see I press very hard, that it will break or split or whatever, because it was obviously dry enough. Usually if you can leave it a few hours, it will be enough, but the day was already done, and then that's why it's the next day. So after it was sand smooth enough the way that I wanted, I went in my studio and I started to paint it. It's a normal acrylic paint. I use that paint for anything, backgrounds that I paint for, backdrops. It works so well. It painted so smooth on this surface, so I really enjoyed that paint for this. I used that color for no reason, because it was only there and it was available. That's why I used that. put a nice thick coat on. Then you can do only 1 or 2 coats, but I used only 1 coat because it was covering everything that I wanted. Obviously you can use any color that you want and any maybe shape, or I suppose you can do some Mod Podge on it, and I think that will look also nice. But I did not want to do that with this one, because I think with the next project I will do it a little bit different, and then I can maybe do it on the next one. But for now, this one I do the purple, and I put some small flowers, maybe like, let's say, imitation flowers. I put on the sides. I think I must be honest, I think the painting part of this whole project was the nicest for me, because I love painting. Now I've painted the inside so that you can't see the bottle, if there's maybe some places sticking out, and it works actually so well. And if you do see a blue and mark on my hand, my little doggy bit me there, so she was a bit naughty the day before. It was playing, but it did leave its mark. There, that looks much better, much better. It's very quick drying. That is normal earbuds. If you use about 5 earbuds, make it in a little circle. Then you can make a flower or any shape that you want with that. It's very easy. I didn't want to waste some time to make any decorative painting on this specific vase, because it's a kind of a rough finish. And see, I just you can't see now in my plate. I put a little bit of red paint, also acrylic, and then I just dab it in the earbuds. I just dab it in the paint, and then I just put it on the vase. So they don't look the same. It's all is different, so it makes different shapes. You can do anything, any kind of lines or whatever you feel like. At the bottom of my project, you can see there's a little bit of white marks, because the purple paint was still wet when I put it on the newspaper. So that is a bit of newspaper that's sticking there. I will take it off when I'm finished. can even use different colors on it. Say you've got a white one or maybe black, your base. You can use different colors. You don't have to do it this way. Whatever gives you the feeling of something sparkling and nice and something that you enjoy. Put it in your garden or somewhere in the house or almost finished. That's it. Need a little bit of more red paint because I just want to do on the top, all around that scallops. I want to put a little bit of red also there, just because I can. All around just on the edge of the scallop. Because it's a rough surface of the bottle, actually now my vase, then I don't mind being perfect and specific with the paint, because it is a rough kind of effect that I wanted. That's it. Now that looks better. I will put some flowers in and my bow, and there is my end product. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.